Daniel Cormier.
Welcome to a very special episode of the Daniel Cormier Show, brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. They're in your corner with unlimited 5G data that will not slow you down. Today, guys, I have the honor of sitting down with one of the greatest fighters and welterweights to ever compete in the UFC. Kamaru Usman went from growing up in Nigeria to becoming a national champion wrestler in the US and rose all the way to being the undisputed world champion and put together one of the most dominant win streaks the sport's ever seen. But what makes this conversation special is that I'm not going to just talk to him about the titles and the highlights. I want to talk about the man that's behind the run. We'll get into living in Nigeria, the identity challenges he faced. There was a knee injury that changed his entire athletic path, and the rise from an overlooked wrestler to a world champion. We want to talk about the Leon Edwards fights, how emotional he was after he beat Joaquin Buckley, fatherhood, mentorship, the impact of Rashad Evans and Rumble Johnson, his future in podcasting, television, and fashion, and what life looks like after fighting. Kamaru Usman is a fashionista at heart. Today, I'm trying to get to the fighter, the father, the mentor, and the man. Guys, give it up for the one and only, the great Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman.
Oh, so I see what you're doing.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I see what
you're saying. Do you understand now?
I understand.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. That was really in-depth, personal. Hey, it seems more high level. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing.
But you're a guy that deserves that type of acknowledgement for all that you've done in your career.
I appreciate that.
But as we look into today, right? Like, what is the thing that keeps Kamaru Usman up? Like, what is keeping you up today in life?
I think you have to. Now I'm a father, obviously, and I'm very, very honest about to who I am, about where I am. And so I think that's one of the biggest things is because of that, I know that one, I'm no spring chicken.
Yeah.
I know that it's at some point this chapter has to flip over, have to move on from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm starting to realize that more and more. And because of that, what gets me up is thinking about that next step, what potentially is going to come. I think that's right now the main objective for me is closing this chapter out the absolute best way possible, and then using it to segue into the next chapter.
So what's different? Like right now, your life today, right, how much different does it look from when you were the champion of the world? And what do you think is one thing that would surprise people in terms of your day-to-day that they might not expect from a guy like you who lives the life that you live?
What's the main difference is when you're the champion, there's this chip on your shoulder that you are any moment wherever you're at, there's a chip on your shoulder. You're always looking over your shoulder. It's almost like, you hit a lick by having a title, and now you're always looking over your shoulder. Are they coming to get me? Are they coming to get me? So there's that anxiety feel that you have each and every time. I have to get back in the gym. I have to work out today twice a day. I have to do this to keep the rest off. That's a big difference to where I am today, to where I'm in a place now where I'm more comfortable in understanding that, hey, when this fight's going to come, these emotions and these feelings are going to come. But right now, I don't need to dwell on that.
But do you miss that? I mean, there's something to having that, right? That constantly in fight mode, knowing that there's essentially danger at every turn because you are the guy with the target on your back. You are the guy that's holding on to that championship belt that so many people covet.
I do miss it in a sense, but I don't miss it I don't miss it at the same time because I understand now that I can turn it on and off. I'm not completely done to where I'm like, okay, I'm never going to feel that again.
Yeah.
But I do understand that, okay, I know how to turn that on.
But isn't that even a harder balancing act? Being that you are still active, right? But you are a guy that recognizes I'm closer to the end than I am to the beginning. Right? But I do want to still live in that battle where I know I can still be a world champion, but I also now have this family and my life is so different around me.
It's harder in the sense of, as the competitor, wanting to make my way there and getting there. We only knew one way. DC, we knew that one way was the only way I could truly measure success, or the one thing I could really accredit to success is consistent work. And that consistent work is the one way I can go, you know what? It's because I was doing this consistently all the time. I was locked in. That's what got me here. So with now being in this position is now you got a family.
Yeah.
Now you got to go to tennis practice. Yeah. Now you have to maybe change a diaper. And those things pull you emotionally away from that consistent anxiety, thinking about the next move and fighting and this guy and the next guy. And so it's a tricky one, to where it could be more, but also it could be better in the sense of you need that little relaxation, that little mind away from this. So when you get back in this, you are fully aware.
You know, you and I both come from a world in wrestling where it's very hard to be the absolute man. And while you are the man, there's always someone bigger, badder at times, right? So in wrestling, you were a multiple-time national champion in a different level.
Actually, one.
Oh, okay.
One time. Multiple-time All-American.
All-American.
Multiple-time
All-American finalist, but
yes.
a national champion, right? You went to the Olympic level chasing that dream, and you were like one of the 4th or 5th best guys in the world. So I said in the intro, a little bit of an overlooked wrestler. Hard to be overlooked when you have those level of accomplishments, but in wrestling, it is that. But in fighting, something must have clicked for you to become the man that you became on that run to the championship, ultimately putting together one of the greatest win streaks we've ever seen in the UFC. Can you recall a time where you felt it click for you, where you're like, okay, now I know I'm ready to be the guy?
Yeah. It's a great question. But first, let's clear up, because the wrestling guy is going to come for us. So let's clear up this. I was an Olympic Training Center resident.
Yes, but you were chasing that dream.
Yeah, I was chasing that dream, really working up, and I was really competitive with those guys, and 1, 2, 3 guys on the ladder. But there just came a time where it was like MMA was like the girlfriend, and I think you and King Mo and we went through kind of this similar struggle where we love wrestling. That's the world we were comfortable in.
Yeah.
But you started flirting now with this new
fighting,
this new thing.
It's like a new girlfriend.
Yeah, so I went over there and trained a little bit. And man, kind of like this thing. So wrestling practice going on, and the coach is showing the moves, and I'm standing in the back while everyone's kind of taking a knee, sitting. I'm standing, watching the moves, but I'm shadowing.
Yeah, shadowing it.
I can imagine how just irritated Zadok or Slade, Brendan Slade was at that moment, looking back there, and I'm
doing
shadowboxing while I'm watching them.
Because you were already gone. Your mind was gone.
Mentally, I was starting to kind of cheat on wrestling a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so I made the decision fully after the 2012 trials, and I was like, I'm going to this. And of course, I'm afraid of it, because it's a fear of the unknown. I don't know what's going to happen on that side. This is a dangerous sport. This is different. Wrestling, we were controlled in a sense. To where this is, they throwing elbows and knees. Oh man, I don't know about this. And I get in there, and obviously wrestling is the one tool that is the biggest tool to help you in that next avenue. I could kind of control the real estate of a sparring, but I never really thrown punches at someone.
Yeah.
Other than just street fights. And now I'm in a training session, and I'm just getting whooped on. I'm telling you, it was one day, and I've told this story a few times. Rashad whooped me so bad, and he was on the road too, kind of like we are now. We're on the road for like 3 weeks, a month, and Rashad's on the road doing these shows, commentating and analyst.
And he come back,
and I'm at home just training. Yeah, I'm like, I can't wait for him to come back. Big bro's coming back. I'm gonna put it on him. I'm gonna teach him.
I'm gonna show him.
I'm gonna show him. You better be in the gym like me. You ain't been in the gym. We go to practice. He's still talking on the side. I'm plotting in my head what I'm going to do to him at this practice, this session. It's a sparring day. I'm plotting, oh yeah, I'm going to take him down. I know he ain't in shape. I'm going to kill him. And he's still talking to like fans that would come into our gym. Cause we had a superstar gym at that point.
Oh yeah, the Black Zillions.
Black Zillions,
crazy
yeah.
gym.
And so we start sparring. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna give him like a round or two, let somebody get him tired, and then I'm gonna put it on him. And then we finally get going, like about the third, fourth round. This man persistently beat the shit out of me, took me down, crucified me. I shot him for takedowns, and I couldn't get him. Not only could I not get him, he stuffed about 2, 3 of them, and then he took me down.
Come on.
Took me down, held me down. You know, back then Rashad was heavy bottom. Like he could just,
very good.
Oh man, he was crucifying me and just kind of play with me, and it was just a long ride home that day.
That's crazy.
You know how you just get beat up. I'm staring out the window. I'm not looking at him. He driving, and I'm not looking at him. I'm staring out the window, trying not to make eye contact.
Your head, like
yeah, I can't believe he did this to me.
That's bad.
That moment, that moment almost broke me. But it wasn't until like a year and a half later, I was sparring with one of our guys, Danilo Villafort, who was one of the Villafort brothers.
Yeah,
really good. And we're sparring, and Danilo he used to be a bully when his sparring session. He would just bully some of the like us that weren't that great at us this year. He bullied me. But it made me better. It made me tougher. One day he was preparing for a fight and he's going crazy, and I could see the shots a little better. I could see him a little better. I could defend myself. I can block. And when I block it, it wouldn't hurt as bad. And I'm staying in there. And then maybe 10 seconds left, I throw a hook, left hook. And I don't feel anything, but I just throw it. Round's over. And he goes over and he comes back to me towards the end, and he goes, it was almost like he wasn't mad at me, but he was almost like, damn, you almost fucking knocked me out. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you almost fucking knocked me out with that left hook. Made me almost kind of, And I just remember saying to and he was like kind of like telling me like, good job. Yeah. I almost remember walking out of that practice going, oh,
I'm ready.
I am getting ready. Something is working here. Yeah. And at that moment, I was like, okay, maybe I can do something with this.
Yeah. And then you became a guy that was known for pace, pressure, cardio, and mental and fight IQ. When you're in that gym and you're taking those beatings and you're fighting these guys daily, all these high-level guys, and you're just chipping away, taking stuff from them, what do you think was the hardest thing to develop? And what took the longest? Because obviously the jiu-jitsu comes right away. It's like too similar to wrestling. But what about everything else? When you were like looking back now, what do you think took the longest to develop?
I wouldn't say, the jiu-jitsu came relatively because we were grapplers at heart. As wrestlers, we were grapplers at heart. Obviously, it took time to learn the traps and the little tricks that they would set you up with. But I would say the kickboxing. Because the balance is different. Of course, as a wrestler, we're over our front leg and competing. And then you go into now trying to learn boxing to where you're sitting back and throwing just hands, to where now as kickboxer, you have to be balanced to be able to lift that leg to defend.
Yes.
And not only lift that leg, be ready to drop at the drop of a dime to defend the shot.
And return something.
Or change levels and get under someone. So the kickboxing took time. And obviously the sparring too. Because wrestling, we're strong legs, but if someone is tapping that leg with that outside leg, after a while that starts to get tender. And I would say there was a lot of times where I would go home, oh my God.
Did you ever get like cut, knocked out, anything in the training room? Because I did. Kane broke my nose. Uh-huh. Jason Mayhem Miller cut me with a bad knee to the eye. I never got knocked out, but I did get hurt in practice before. Did you ever have any of that happen, especially in those earlier years of your career?
I was stunned a couple of times.
Yeah.
I do remember Thiago Silva hit me with a really good right hand that, kind of cracks the neck and you just get stunned a little bit. But then I've been dropped one time. Besides the head kick that we heard around the world, I was dropped one time ever in my career. That was by Michael Johnson at practice. I had just fought, and then I took like 2 weeks off, and then I came back, jumped right into sparring with the Michael Johnson.
Who at the time was so fast,
and was 3 weeks away from a fight. He was in shape.
Yeah.
And Michael, and I went a whole 5 minutes with him, and Michael, towards the end of sparring too, it's not great. Michael put it on me.
Yeah.
On me to where he sat me down. And it's funny, I have the video still to this day. And of course, Rashad has it in the archives. He makes sure he reminds you.
He probably like, yo, if you ever get too out of line, I still have this.
Oh my God. I'm surprised the video hadn't come out yet, but he sits me down and I fall down. When I sit down, sit back. I fall down on my arm like this. To where my arm out. But it just goes to show, even at that time, and even to today's day, how special Michael Johnson was, because Michael was such a great combination of speed and power. For a little skinny guy like that.
Yeah.
Oh, he'll put it on you.
He was.
Yeah.
He was good. But we'll get into Rashad Evans a little later, but that's your brother. Because if he wasn't, that would already have surfaced.
Of course.
Right? If he wasn't your brother, people would have seen that video, because people always, especially in today's world, clout chasing, you become the champion. That would have leaked at that moment, but obviously he cares about you too much. Kamaru, is there a difference? Is there a difference between Kamaru Usman, the hungry Kamaru Usman, and comfortable Kamaru Usman? Comfortable, I'm in the sense of, I was the world champion. You made boatloads of money. You have essentially everything. Opposed to that kid that walked into that gym in South Florida. What's the difference?
The difference is, there's a difference. The difference is you're wise enough to know now that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because when you first come in, it's the fear of the unknown, to where it's just like, I don't know what's going to happen here, so I'm blindly going, and I don't care about anything but this.
But isn't that naive, hungry, broke person exactly who you need to be at that moment to have that belief that at some point this thing? Because where did you live when you moved to Florida?
That's true. You're absolutely right. But now I know that.
Yeah. How do you keep them alive though with the comfort?
Oh, because I can turn that back on. Because nothing is greater than what the goal that I've set up for myself. And so, as long as I'm still willing to tirelessly chase that, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because when you first come in, yes, you tirelessly want to chase it. Well, you don't know if it's going to work out. You don't know. You're just like, man, I don't know if this training every day is doing anything. I still feel like I can't strike. I still feel like I'm not good at grappling, jiu-jitsu. I don't know. I'm still broke.
Yeah.
To
that's
where
the
you
hardest
don't
part.
know. Yeah. But now I'm in a position to where I know with that consistent work, I can get there.
Yeah.
But it's just the moment like I said, I'm honest with myself. The moment I realize I'm not willing to turn that on, it's time.
You can't tap into that guy no more.
I can't tap into it.
When I can't tap into that dude that I know I have to be to go and fight a Joaquin Buckley, I got to walk away from this thing. Right. That's going to be a very hard day. A lot of people think they can do it. It's going to be a very hard day when you walk away from it.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to be just MMA though. You'll be walking away from a lifetime of competition.
You know, that's interesting when you say that, DC, because I know I get emotional a little bit now after victories, but I'm gonna give you the honest truth, and that's because I am a very spiritual person, to where I understand that this chapter is gonna be over at some point. So it's in turn, it's almost like me slowly mourning
the loss
of not necessarily the loss, but me leaving this chapter.
It's a life.
I'm slowly mourning that to where I understand each and every time I step out there now, it's a blessing and it's an opportunity, and I am ultimately grateful for that because, let's be honest, I'm gonna miss this. And you tell me, don't you miss it? As
I miss the competition.
Exactly.
Because it's all we did our whole lives.
But here's the thing. I know as tough as it was, and even more so for you, don't you miss that preparation?
But that's what I miss.
Where nothing else matters but what you have coming up.
You miss the chase.
Yes.
And you miss the camaraderie that comes with the preparation. That's what you'll miss. But the reality is, like, you have big things down the line, and that'll save you, especially if you can be a part of the show still, like me. I don't really have to miss all the fame and all that stuff.
Right.
I think athletes struggle with that, but mourning a loss.
If they don't have that next,
mourning a loss of a life that I once lived was difficult. Because from 15 to 41, I competed at the highest level of sport. Right. So when that was gone, that was difficult. And you'll experience that, I promise you.
I know it.
And once you get through it, you'll be better for it. But it's something you got to kind of like let happen.
And just to wrap up on that, there was, like, all through life, I've been so blessed to be around just greatness all over, to where,
how lucky were we?
To where there was one time when I was younger, I think I just left high school and came back for freshman year in college, I think, and came back to wrestle around with, like, the group in Texas down there. And at this point, I started to grow my body a bit.
Yeah.
I was toned up. You know, that wrestling shape is different. And someone made a comment, because we were like in a camp setting and Kenny Monday was there, right? And someone made a comment about my body, kind of like, man, look how big and ripped or cut up that he was. And to kind of like make fun of Kenny, but just joking with him.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Fun joke. And Kenny turns and says this, and I don't know if he probably won't remember this, but it was just funny how this stuck with me. Kenny turned and said this, man, do you know how tight I was at that age?
Yeah.
You know, and said that. Just funny. They were poking fun at each other and they kind of laughed it off. And it's weird that stuck with me. I don't know why.
Because it was him recalling that time.
Yes.
That he didn't live anymore.
Yes. And Kenny was a guy that I studied. Once I wanted to elevate myself in wrestling, studied the Puma, how he moved and how he wrestled. And then seeing his, of course. So I got back to see that. And then now I'm kind of in a position to where I'm like, man, someone might say that to me one day.
Yeah.
And I might have to look back and go, man, do I miss that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will. One thing that I didn't know about you was I knew you were African. I didn't know you lived in Nigeria. Yeah. Do you have any memories of that, of the time there in Nigeria?
Yeah, and it's so vivid because as a child, because you only recall like certain moments.
Yeah.
Right, that stick with you. And I was just there enough to really engulf the culture in a way that it will never leave me.
Yeah.
It will never leave me. And that's why I'm so connected to the place. I was gone for almost 20 years and I still live and love to represent that place.
Yeah.
It's something in our blood that we are just tied to that place. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I remember it. There was a lot of moments with my brothers, my older brother, Dr. Cash Usman, and my younger brother. There's three little boys running around and just kind of causing mayhem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good times. It was fun. And I mean, we grew up humble beginnings.
Yeah.
We farmed. And not only we farmed, my mom had a convenience store to where we sold things to where it was very, very humble beginnings. But I don't remember any moment where I was unhappy.
That's the craziest thing. I grew up like very poor. And I just felt like I was always so loved that it didn't really matter what we had because you felt loved. So it's like you don't feel like you're missing as much. Obviously, there are moments where you wish you had what another kid had, Because the people around you that mattered so much, loved you so much, it didn't really matter. But then you guys moved to the United States. And do you remember why you guys moved to the United States? Have you ever asked your parents
Yeah,
why you guys moved there?
of course. I mean, it's one of the main reasons why every immigrant really kind of immigrates to a certain area or place for opportunity. And in Nigeria, where you're so populated like that, and you live in a country of just brilliant minds. I mean, if you look right now, you look at Harvard, there's a percentage that are Nigerians. Look at Columbia, you look at Yale, you look at all the Ivy Leagues, you look at the doctors, some of the top doctors in the States, in the UK, all over the world. There's a Nigerian in any mix. We come from a culture of people who are ambitious and who are relentless in their pursuit of excellence. And with that being said, it's just so many people running the exact same race to where there's not enough, there's only 10 spots over there.
Yeah.
But you've got 1 million people running that race for that 10 spot.
Yeah.
And, my father was in the military and he got an opportunity here to be in the military here. And he came here and became a pharmacist. And I think back then there was this lottery program you can kind of, and we were granted visas to come here. And so it was opportunity.
Lucky.
And yes,
Very lucky.
And my father dared to take that chance of going to a foreign land and create an opportunity for his family, which is forever I will be grateful for. Forever.
Was there anything better than giving the belt to your dad? For me, it was like so amazing. Like when my dad, it used to fill my heart. Obviously, my father's not here anymore, but it would fill my heart to give my dad the belt and he could go back and say, my son's a world champion. He can go to Lafayette and all the people that your dad cuts grass at the city of Lafayette, he could go to all those people and go, well, my son's a world champion.
Right.
That filled me with so much pride. Was there ever anything that like felt better to you than handing your mom or your dad that belt? Like,
yeah, that's very interesting, and we can spend so much time talking about this. Obviously in college I took this philosophy class, and in philosophy we had to read The Pursuit of Happiness by Plato or Aristotle, one of them, and we had to kind of come up with that in our head. And during that whole term of going through that essay and studying this, I came up with My Pursuit of Happiness. And in My Pursuit of Happiness, I believe there's 3 avenues in your pursuit of happiness. And I call it flooring someone. And what I mean by that is you put them in such a state to where that state, money can't buy that state. Nothing can buy what they feel. The happiness that you create inside them to where you make someone cry uncontrollably. For you to floor your father to where he couldn't buy the fact that his son is a world champion.
yes.
He couldn't buy the fact that now you are able to do something for him or just give him give him that stance, that station in life to say, my son made it.
Yeah.
I did something right.
It is a reflection of them.
It's a reflection of them because it's the one thing in life that you cannot buy, they cannot really control.
Yeah.
Is that
your future.
And so that's the first avenue, is you flooring your parents. You giving them that level of happiness to where you know what it is when you just see them look at you. There's a smile that comes on their face, and it's a weird smile.
Yes, it is.
You've never seen that usually, and you just see that moment, and inside you just know, I've done it. I did that.
You feel you're full of joy.
You're full of joy, and then it's the next level is when you show it to your kids. When you give it to them, where your kid looks at you and goes, holy shit, that's my dad.
Yes.
When they're so damn proud, that's my dad. When your kid brags about you at school, my dad's a world champion.
Yep.
That moment. And then the third level is when they repay the favor. Because now it's the circle of life, which goes in turn with the pursuit of happiness. Now they give it to you. Now they have to do it to their kids. And hopefully one day their kids give it to them. But at every one, the other party cannot control that. That is my pursuit of happiness. And the moment I was able to do that for my father, it's words can't describe that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Today's show is brought to you by our new sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Hard Rock Bet is a top-rated sportsbook app. It might just take the belt from any other sportsbook app that you use once you open it up and you see it for yourself. And guys, if you haven't tried your first bet on Hard Rock Bet, there's still time for you to get $150 in bonus bets if you win. So place a $5 bet. If that bet hits, you not only get your winnings, but you get $150 in bonus bets right away. Guys, today is a great day to try the Hard Rock Bet Sports app. So it's not just a welcome offer. You can get bonus bets, you can get parlay insurance, and other rewards. The rewards and the promos are nonstop. So download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit today. But what do you think the hardest part of moving to the United States was?
Well, I think like most immigrant is the simulation of really, because I hate to say it, but this is just the country that requires you to excellence from you, or at least it's going to ask of you excellence. This is the one, you come into this country, you better learn English.
Yeah.
Hey, you better learn English. We're not trying to learn that whatever language you're speaking. You better learn
That's
this
the
English.
truth. I know no foreign language.
To where you go to Africa, you go to Nigeria, you go to some places where, well, oh, come in, you speak Chinese. Oh, come in. Well, yeah, we'll sign for you. We'll try to figure out whatever. We'll find a way to
make you feel
communicate
comfortable.
with you.
We'll leave you in the dust.
Yes, we'll make it to you feel comfortable. To where here it's like, well, you better learn that damn English.
Yeah.
If you don't learn that English, you better go back to your country.
Did you not speak English when you got here?
I spoke English, obviously, because Nigeria is part of that West African that was kind of colonized by the British. So we spoke UK English, but I'm a child. I'm still learning here the actual proper English. To where you come to the States, it's different.
Yeah.
In UK, the trash is dustbin.
Yeah.
So you come here and say, throw that in the trash. You're like, what? Where? Yeah. Or open the trunk of the car. Go to the boot. So you learn these things. So now having to come here and then learn that.
Again.
And then obviously I was in this class called ESL, which ESL was kind of, in school, of kids are cruel. Kids made it seem like you're in the special class.
Because you were trying to learn a new language.
Yes, because you're in ESL, which really meant English as a second language. To try to teach you, help you assimilate to English. Kids are cruel. Kids made fun of, oh, you in that short butt. You in that special class.
I would have been one of those morons doing that too.
You definitely was. I could tell. You were one of them.
Stupid. Don't even know what it means. There's just 3 letters that I don't recognize, so I'm making fun of you.
Yeah, you in the special class.
Stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, just that simulation was really, really tough for me. But yeah, we're kids. You don't understand that. You don't know that. You're just rolling with the punches each and every day. As long as you wake up, you got food in your belly, and you got loved ones around you, you don't really care about any of that.
You know, one time you and I were having a conversation. We talk a lot off camera and out of the public eye. And I remember when Ben, and even me one time, we were at UFC tonight, and I called you Marty. Right? And I asked you, why do you not want to be called that anymore when the whole time we had? And you gave me this great answer. You said, because it's not my name. And I said, well, why did you accept it? To me, it was so simple.
Right.
And you said, I've grown into my name. I love my name. Somebody called me this when I was a young kid, and I thought I was supposed to just accept it. Right. Well, can you kind of explain that to people? Because people didn't quite understand. But then the moment you told me, I was like, I get it. Right. It makes sense. And it made me look at you like, man, take that strong African name and wear it proudly.
Right. No, it's that's a great question, and it's funny because my coach who started it,
Why?
Saw me. He was at my last fight. I brought him out to my last fight, and he was apologizing to me, and I just I felt bad in a sense because of how big this had gotten.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, Ben Askren.
Yeah, because of Ben.
Because of how big this had gotten to where he felt maybe he did something wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. You know, when you're a child, you're coming up in something, in some sport, everyone has a nickname. You give everyone a nickname. And it started kind of with, you know, when you're in the study hall, you're in the group, they have to call you, roll call, your name. And my name was actually on there in school. So he goes, Cub. And I'm talking about, my coach was a military, a former Marine, buzz cut, no nonsense kind of guy. And he's going, Aaron Hill. Boom. Here, coach. Kamarudian. My name's Kamarudi. Yeah. And so he goes, okay, I can't say, I'm not saying that.
Really?
Marty, which it was just a joke. It was playing around. He's like, Marty, I'm gonna call you Marty. I'm like, oh, that's me, coach. I'm 5'2", 103 pounds. And I'm like, that's me, coach. He's like, I'm gonna call you Marty. That's cool. And at that time, like I said, I wanted to assimilate. You wanted to just be one of the guys.
You want to be like, you want to be there and just not cause too much ruckus.
Not cause too much ruckus. I'm not in the position yet where I want to stand out. You know, kids like to follow. We don't want to stand out from the pack because when you're a kid, you don't really understand how powerful that is.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just want to go with it. So I went with it. All right, Marty. But now, guess what? Now the team starts calling me Marty. So we all know, like anything else, if you suck at something, you die off at that moment. No one remembers you that unless you're doing something goofy or crazy. I started to excel.
Yeah.
So when you start to excel, the name grows with you.
Yeah.
Now it's Marty. Here, Marty won that tournament. Marty's here. Marty's like number one of the top kids in the state now. Now, collegiate coaches are calling. Hey, this kid, Kamaru, we're trying to. Oh, you mean Marty? So my coach says that just unknowingly. You mean Marty? So now college coaches hear that. Now Marty. Now they call me that. Now I go to college and they're calling me that already, and I'm already in here to where that name grows with me. And then it would have died off in college had I sucked. But I continue to excel. I won a national championship. I came off the mat. The teleprompter at the bottom during the interviews, it said Marty Usman. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy now that I look at it, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because that's not my name.
Yeah.
But at that time, that's what it was. And I will have to admit this right now. I've never said this before. Doing a lot of reflection on that, I think part of that was being a little ashamed to be kind of labeled differently or called because my name was different than Aaron or Chris or Jason, or my name was different. So for them to say the mouthful of my name, I think I was a little maybe ashamed of that. So I just went with the Marty thing, even though it wasn't that big of a deal. But it
actually is kind of.
It is. So once I got into a position now to where not only am I representing myself or trying to do this sport, now I'm representing my name, my father, representing his lineage and his father and everyone, the name that they gave me. I'm like, no, I have to represent that. I'm a grown man now. I'm not a child. And so, and Ben, listen, no, I'm good with everything now, but with Ben, it was when Ben came in, he tried to kind of use it as a joke. Because Ben came in hot.
He came in
hot. And Ben was just doing everything possible
to try to get the biggest fights.
Which I understand. And so when he came in, it was like, first of all, now I got this chip on my shoulder.
Because he was a better wrestler.
Accolades-wise. Not even close. I started wrestling my sophomore year in high school. And Ben probably won more titles as a kid than I had ever won combined. And so now he starts saying that. And not only saying, he's kind of saying it in a condescending way, kind of to poke fun. So I'm like, well, you don't really know me.
You don't know me.
You don't know me like that. So you can't say that. And plus, that is no longer my name. I'm not a wrestler, a kid in high school anymore. I'm a grown man. Hey, address me properly. And then he kind of ran with it and made fun with it, which was great. I wish we would have got the chance to fight, because that was another big fight.
Yeah.
Because now, hindsight, looking back, you want every big fight. You want to fight every big fight as much as possible.
Do you think that you grew into your name or grew into yourself as a person?
I grew into myself as a person. Yeah. Because if I'm not who I am as a person, then what kind of representation are you doing to that name?
Yeah, absolutely. You got hurt in football, and it almost ended everything for you. Was that in high school? Were you playing?
Yeah,
what happened?
High school, but it's like I said, freshman year I was 5'2", 103 pounds. Texas football.
It's big time football. It's big time football down there, bro.
High school, 103 pounds. Texas football.
Yeah. What were you doing out there?
I was a tailback. Boom.
What were you doing out there?
I got a chance to run the ball. Boom. Hit it. It was like a 43 cutback. Boom. Boom. Gone. Mm-hmm. Probably got like 15, 20 yards. Now I'm like, oh, there was a big hole right there. Oh, yeah, I like that. They call another play, but this time to the other side. But I'm like, that hole was open last time.
You went back.
Cut it. Boom. Went back to the hole. I got hit so hard. And I'm 5'2", 103 pounds. I haven't hit puberty yet. So I'm soft. I'm soft at this point. I mean, I used to jam my fingers trying to catch a football, all these things. And I get smacked so hard. I'm on my back, just like screaming every curse word I could think of. And the assistant football coach was the assistant wrestling coach, John Mance. And he was kind of trying to been poking at me, hey, why don't you come try wrestling? Because in high school, you want to recruit those little kids. Because, because wrestling, we know that those little guys have an opportunity to excel at a sport. That it's not just football and basketball. Because in Texas, football, basketball, and track, those are key.
Yep.
So it's like you want to recruit them, man. So he saw that I kind of had some athletic ability, and he was asking me to come in, but I'd never done wrestling. So I'm like, no. But after taking this hit, I said, you know what? It's about time to find something else.
You never played football again?
Never played football again. The next year, I told you, sophomore year, I signed up for wrestling. I went straight into it. The study hall, I started to just go into wrestling. Yeah.
Did you think it was over? Like how badly were you injured?
Oh, it wasn't bad. I was soft at that point. I was soft.
You try to act like
got smacked. I'm just back there. I think I probably limped for like a week after that.
Oh my gosh, Jamal. So ridiculous. You went from being a guy that pursued something to building one of the greatest legacies in the welterweight division. I have seen on multiple occasions this week people say you are the greatest welterweight champion of all time and not the great George St. Pierre. I am not saying that. I'm just saying that I have heard that this week as we have a bunch of welterweights fighting up in the next very upcoming future.
Right.
But you're on this win streak, right? Do you recall a time where you go, this is special? I can tell that I'm building something very special.
No, I tried very hard not to do that.
Why?
Because I watched some of the greats. I studied some of the greats, and then while you're doing that, they try not to, because you have to stay locked in.
Present.
You have to stay present. And by watching them and kind of studying them, it took the opportunity away from me to really sit back and go, oh man, let me smell the roses. No, for me it was what was next? What was next? Because I found the satisfaction in the chase of the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. And so sitting there and going, oh man, this is great. I'm great. I did this. This is great. I couldn't do that. Yeah. I was just like, okay, what's next? I remember the last time I thought about it, I was 5-1, trying to get into the UFC.
Really?
And they were saying, well, yeah, if a spot opens up, we'll give you a call. And then obviously the Ultimate Fighter came about. But I just remember that was the last time I was like, man, 5-1. I should do so. But then I would always compare to Rashad because I had an example of
right there in
the
front
right
of you.
way to do it. And I remember I went through his. I think Rashad Evans actually had a 15-fight win streak. We can check that.
Yeah.
We can check that.
He
I
had a
think there
long
was
one.
at one point Rashad was on a 15-fight win streak, and I just remember looking. I'm like, damn, it's just win, 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 win. Man, if I'm ever so lucky, I hope I'm blessed with this one day to be able to go on this run. But all I could think about, I was 5-1,
Yeah.
and then I was just the next one. Boom, the next one. I need the next one. I need the next one. I never really stopped to go, man, I'm doing well
crushing this.
until before the last fight,
Yeah.
where every interview, everyone's going, hey, you're about to
break this record.
You're about to break this record. You're about to do this. How do you feel about this? I'm like, well, I never really thought about it, but now that shit's in my head now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it until it didn't happen. But yeah, I try not to ever really dwell on it. But now in the position I'm in, I'm looking back and going, man, not only am I going to miss that chapter once it's done, I need to kind of appreciate it a little bit before it's.
Do you feel like there's a part of your MMA journey that is a bit overlooked? Like maybe it's the not getting the right opponents at the right time, the slow burn to finally getting the title opportunity. Do you think any part of what you did gets a bit overlooked and you wish that it was appreciated a little more?
No, because where I'm at right now, I'm blessed to even look back and I'm like I said, I'm spiritual to where I know everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so being underappreciated early on gave me that chip on my shoulder to do something spectacular enough to have the fans respect you in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't go back and change anything. I don't think anything really was overlooked. Yes, at the time I hated, even that comment when Dana thought I was saying, oh, I came in with 30, effort and being kind of, because as wrestlers, when we come in, we want to take guys down. That's the tool we have. And so coming in and doing that to guys, I really built that grappling aspect of myself. And yeah, it probably wasn't the most fan-friendly style at first. But it gave me the foundation to grow into standing and striking.
And that's your story, right? That's a part of your story that I think we as MMA fans sometimes don't understand. Do you think, like overall, like as you look back now, that people understand Kamaru Usman and understand what he needed to be in order to be who he is today? Or do you think it's still a little bit misinterpreted?
It's still a little bit misinterpreted, but I say the majority that know me, they know what to expect from me. They know I can stand and bang if we need to, but they also know that I can grapple. To the point where in this fight, I can't tell you how much I was getting from fans going, man, take him down. You can take him down. Bro, you got to take him down. Take him down. Don't even play that. Fans appreciated the fact that I have that tool to take someone down, control him down there, and land some damage on him. I couldn't believe I was hearing fans say that to me. Bro, you could take him down, bro. You take him down, bro.
Buckley, you mean?
Fans were excited to see me take him down, completely shut him down, and control him and land damage down there. Yeah. Which was crazy to me because I grew up hearing, bro, you're so boring. When I was 30, 20, 27, I was 30, 25, 30, 26 guys. I think in my first 5 or 6 fights, there wasn't one fight I didn't get a 10-8 round.
Yeah.
And fans
they don't want to see the wrestle.
Yes. To where now, I'm in a position to where they're going, man, you got to take him down. You control him down there, man. Your wrestling is great. You got to use that. I'm like, damn, I didn't know y'all like wrestling like this.
It's because you've already shown that you're willing to do that. You did get on that long win streak, but then it famously ended in one of the most dramatic ways that I think anyone has ever seen in a fight. You're fighting Leon Edwards in Utah. You're winning the fight, right? he might have won the first round, but then the next 3 rounds you dominate. It's very close to the end. John Anik murmured, says, this is not the club by which he is cut, and then the head kick. Do you remember anything? Because I mean, seriously, because it was a clean knockout, right? Can you go back now and recall the moments after, or are you still missing
those
memories? Because I still don't have those memories from Jones knocked me out.
Yeah. No, you can't. It's like
lost in time.
It's when your computer shuts down, boom, and then reboots right away. Well, it reboots. The time from when it shut down to when it rebooted, the computer got no new information.
Have you tried to recall it?
Of course, when you watch it, you feel like you can recall that, but deep on inside, you know you can't.
But when you watch, right, the fight, and you watch yourself leaving the octagon.
I don't remember none of that.
See, I saw myself crying one time, walking back to the back, and I was like, when did that happen? That's not funny. It's not funny, dude. I'm like, when did that happen?
Right.
When do you remember coming, the lights coming back on?
I was actually talking about this yesterday. It's so crazy. Because it happens. I'm sitting up on the stool. Obviously, the coaches are going to be there with you. And we're going to ask the famous question.
What happened?
What happened? What did he hit me with? What did he hit me with? And I didn't realize I had asked it multiple times.
I asked that shit 10 times.
I didn't realize I had asked it multiple times, but Trevor obviously told me later. So we get done. I stand there. They announce him as the winner. I even dap him up, and I walk out of there. Right? Autopilot. I walk out. I'm dapping up fans on the way out. All right, I'll get them next time. Walk out all the way to the back. See family. Cut the gloves off me. I'm in the tent. I'm okay. I'm there. See family. That transition probably was 15, maybe 20 minutes. Get done with family, and the UFC's like, I said, I'm okay, I'm fine. They're like, yeah, let's just go to the hospital just to scan and make sure everything's fine. I said, okay, it's just precaution. I get in an ambulance. I hug my family, and then we're good. So I get in the ambulance. I'm going to the hospital. It's me and my manager, Ali. Ali's in the ambulance with me. They're asking, of course, the paramedic back there. They're going to ask their questions. So she's asking me questions, and I'm answering questions, and then she asked me this one question. Not only she asked me the question, I think she asked me the question twice. She goes, in a row, boom, first time, do you know where you're at? I didn't really hear it, but I know it was the same question. She asked me again. All right, so do you know what day it is? And me in it's almost like a competitive, mode. I wanted to get the right answer out, not just get it out right. I wanted to get it out and give her more, so she knows exactly that. Not only do I know the answer to that, but I'll give you more for extra credit. Do you know a date? Yeah, of course I know. It's Saturday, August something. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. UFC 270. Fuck.
And you woke up. Shut the fuck up. That's how you woke up.
UFC 270. Oh, if they're asking me this question. No.
Shut up, Kamaru. Really?
I'm like, no way. Ali's there on his phone with this look on his face. I just knew. I was like, no way. There's no way.
You broke down.
There's no way. I just, because my brother's there, so we can just talk, and we're fully honest and transparent with one another. So I didn't really break down there, but I'm like, there's no way. What? We get back we get to the hospital, and I'm sitting in the room, and at this point I'm shadow boxing because I'm fine. Everything is good. I'm back now. I'm shadow boxing. I'm just like, no. And of course we just lit the world on fire with what just happened. And he's going through Twitter, and we're looking at things, and someone had clipped out because my daughter was there. Someone had clipped out my daughter, she's happy because for all she's ever known is daddy go out there and win and do everything. And my daughter watched this brutal head kick. She's never seen her dad down like that. So she's crying, like she screams hysterically. And she's
No.
turning. Someone clipped that, cut it, clipped it, screenshot it, and posted it. And I saw that, and that's when it broke me.
Yeah. Whew, I can only imagine. I saw a picture of my kids hugging me after I lost, and that it still breaks me today. I can't see it. When you look back on that time after that, obviously he won the third fight. Do you think that uh, did it shake you? Obviously losing those two fights and then going into that Buckley fight where you knew you're kind of up against it, right? Like, I've lost two in a row to the same guy. He's not the champion anymore, but I know I can work my way back. But when you're walking in there, are you the same Kamaru Usman? Are you still carrying the same confidence against a young guy who's on a run like Buckley was?
I'm still the same, but the confidence is hurting.
Yeah.
Because when all you've ever known is success, and that's not what it's been lately, it's a human trait. It messes with you. But I know who I am on the inside because I built myself.
Yeah.
No one had to tell me. I go all the way back to junior year when I finally started to learn how to cut weight in high school a little bit. No one had to tell me, hey, you need to go for a run at night because it's going to help your cardio. Not only help your cardio, it's going to help you get that weight down. You know, no one had to tell me that. I just knew that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, I want to be better than everybody. I have to do a little more than everybody. No one had to really tell me that. And so with all of that, me knowing that I built myself to this juggernaut that I felt like in my head, and then now that wasn't, it's being questioned, of course, it starts to mess with you a little bit. Am I still that guy? Am I still that guy? I know I put the work in. I know, when my lady wanted me to just come eat and relax with us. Nah, I'm not gonna eat that. You know what? I'm gonna go in the garage and get on this air dime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little extra in.
Yeah.
I know I'm still that guy. But yeah, you start to kind of question it. Like, man. And then not only that, UFC, we love to do promo. We know the promos. They gonna show you the highlights of this dude knocking someone's head off.
Yep.
Over and over and over and over, to where it starts to kind of drive that doubt even deeper and deeper and deeper. But I just had to have solace in knowing that, hey, whatever happens, happens.
Is that why you were so emotional after the win? Because it touched me. It made my heart flutter when you were sitting at the press conference post-fight and you kind of broke down, like, in terms of, it was almost like a relief.
DC, man, we know what it's like to be in a funk.
Yeah.
We know that. And like I said, I'm spiritual enough now to where, and even Volk said this, like, adversity is a blessing. It is, as much as we hate it, as much of an annoyance as it is for us, adversity is a blessing. Having the ability to have things, whether positive or negative, happen to you, that's a blessing. Because now you get to feel something. There's some people who can't feel any of that. Now, can you imagine going their minds to where they just want to feel the pain of being hit or pinched or punched? As weird as it sounds, they just want to feel that sensation, but they can't feel that. And so adversity is a blessing, to the point where I was just in that moment, just knowing that I had gone through this much adversity. And as a father, the biggest gift for me now is being able to, because kids sometimes they can choose whether they're going to listen to you or not, but they can't ignore the action.
Yeah.
They can't ignore what you did. They can't ignore the fact that, yes, you dropped 3 and everyone's writing you off like you can't win again.
Yeah.
They're like, you can't win again. Oh, he's washed. I remember hearing that. Oh, he's washed. And I'm like, I know I'm this guy still. I still put the work in. I know I'm still not going to cut that corner. I still do the work. And so to go out there and have that actually happen, and show that you can still show that you are that guy after so much time. Yeah, it was very, very emotional. And the fact that my daughter wasn't able to be there at that fight too, because that was one of the lessons for you to see that.
Yeah.
The fact that she wasn't able to be there and feel it, because it's a different electricity when you're there.
She's the best too.
And yeah, that all of that combination just personally what I'd gone through.
Yeah.
It was a mountain. You know, when that mountain just gets lifted, even if it's for 5 seconds or 5 minutes that day, it came off.
So many people don't recognize the struggles that fighters and people in the public eye go through outside of what they see. They can appreciate whenever they see a guy like you, so strong on the outside, really open himself up in a way that most aren't used to seeing. You said kids sometimes don't listen. You did a lot of listening in your career, especially early. And you had two guys that really did make an impact on you. Rashad Evans, obviously, we've spoken about him a little bit. And Anthony Johnson. Yesterday, I think you posted something saying, Anthony, you're gone, but we will miss you forever. What did it mean for you to have two people in your life early in your career to mold you into the fighter and person you are that relate so closely to you? Strong men, athletes, wrestlers, black men, to go and do what they did, to have Anthony and Rashad.
Yeah, I mean, it was powerful. I mean, representation is serious. It's a real thing. It's really, really important, because anyone can tell you this or tell you that, but until you see someone with your level of struggle, the same struggle like you, that looks like you, that it lets you know, one day, man, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can be there one day. And so coming in, Rashad was Rashad was instrumental in just getting me to switch over to the sport.
He did that for so many of us.
Yes, and let's be honest, Rashad was one of the first of what we are now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's one of the first to put it together. And so with that example, watching it over and over, and just I might not say much, but I'm taking notes. Mentally, I'm taking notes. I'm watching how he conducts himself. I'm watching how he does these interviews. I'm watching how he answers this question. I'm watching how he carries himself. I'm watching how he prepares himself. And I'm picking at that point. I'm picking what I like that. I like that. I don't really like that so much. I'm going to use that. I might use that. Rashad, and when the Black Zillions started, which is a team where I started with, Anthony Johnson, of course, was there. Michael Johnson, also another guy that was very instrumental in my development, because me and Michael Johnson probably have more rounds together than anyone. I mean, me and Michael was very, very instrumental because he was so fast, and he had no fear. And so imagine a smaller guy just beating on me for almost 2 years to where I learned enough to where now I get to bully him. And so, yeah, Michael Johnson, very instrumental. Rashad Evans, for the example that he set, and not just the example that he set. Rashad Evans told me, hey, I said, hey, man, I don't know if I can come to Florida because, I don't know, I got to get a place to live because I'm in the comforts of the Olympic Training Center. We ain't get no money like that. I mean, you were number one on team. You were getting a little check, but that was nothing
like that. No, not like we
to go get our own place and live and just train full time. And then I was getting presented with an offer somewhere else. So I was like, man, don't worry about that. Just come down. You can live with me. Now think about it. This is the first time I've ever been starstruck, seeing Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
He's a superstar that you only get to see on television. And he's telling me, just come live with me. Am I in your house?
Yeah.
You superstar? Come live with you? Yeah, come live with me. And we knew each other, but we didn't know each other that well.
Yeah.
But Rashad just had that heart to where he would just come live with me.
Yeah.
I moved to Florida. I lived with Rashad for, I think, maybe almost 2.5, 3 years.
Wow.
Living with Rashad, getting access to Michael Johnson, Anthony Rumble Johnson, which Anthony was, it's such a special, weird relationship because Anthony don't talk much. It wasn't until later on in life where we were able to break those emotional barriers to where Anthony would show that. But before that, Anthony just is a guy that would show up in the gym 5 minutes before practice in jeans and a shirt and with his like tights already on, take him off, put his gloves on, knock out a couple dudes at that practice, straight from there, put his jeans right back on without going to the shower, put his shirt on, and leave the gym.
Oh my God.
That was Anthony Johnson. And so being able to see him and then watch him too. Anthony came in, obviously he was a big puncher, big guy, just excel in the sport and spent a lot of time with our coach Henry Hoof, and Anthony really became who he was. Now, your fights with Anthony, I was at both of them. I watched the first one, but I fought at the second one in Buffalo. And I remember Anthony, obviously backstage watching him. I'm like, well, man, Anthony, the first one, I'm like, Anthony really had a shot. He has a shot here because somehow, I don't know how Anthony gets that left leg around the head, but somehow he does. You know, he's such a big, stiff guy, but that left leg wraps around your neck, and he just had unbelievable power. And so, unfortunately, he couldn't get it done against you. I'm like, oh man, that guy's special. He's something else. And then I remember the second time you guys were gonna fight, I was in the UFC now, and I was on that card as well. And I just remember, being there, watch you guys, and I was in Buffalo, correct?
Yep.
Yes. So remember watching you guys finish the fight and him dropping that one as well. I think that was his last one for a while when I think he kind of walked away. But yeah, Anthony was special as well. And I'm just now looking back at everything, just blessed that I got to even nourish that relationship a little bit before he passed.
When he passed away, how did that affect you? Because Anthony actually gave me something when he passed. He gave me a watch.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing that I got a random call and they said, Anthony left you a watch.
Yeah.
How did that affect you losing? Because we saw this big, powerful man and had no idea what he was dealing with on the back end.
Yeah, he left me a necklace, and yeah, it affected me a little bit. But like I said earlier, the one thing that I think is kind of weird, I don't want to say weird about me, but it's a little different, is it's almost like I almost pre-mourn situations. It's like I like to be overly prepared.
Yeah. You knew he was sick?
So when we found out that he was sick, because remember, Anthony was great, then boom, lost a bunch of weight, was going through something. Then when we found out he was sick, at this point I started to kind of, like I said,
prepare yourself,
nourish that relationship a little bit more. Come over to the house, Anthony. Not only come over, like it meant something to me to invite Anthony Johnson over to my house, because Anthony Johnson was already a UFC superstar before I started fighting. Come to my house for him to see that, hey, this little kid that came in the gym that didn't know how to do anything now has a house. Anthony came over, sat down, we shot pool and just kind of hung out and just talk. I wanted to get to what's going on. I mean, I've been sick. The doctor said they might know this, they might know that, So we spent a little bit of time together. We started to get a little closer. And then he was just sick, and so part of that process, I started kind of just prepare myself. It's a weird thing to say, to even think, but my mind is wired that way, to where I kind of prepare myself a little bit, to where when I got the call, actually, I got a text. I was actually going to call him that day and say, hey man, I'm coming back in town. Remember, we had talked about doing something. Hey, you want to come over to the house? Then I get the text and I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How someone like a specimen like that, or
could just get destroyed by that.
He's gone
in no time.
He's gone.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me at that point, but I almost kind of prepared myself.
Yeah.
For that.
We're all going to miss Anthony forever. A few quick ones before I let you go, Kamaru. 2 daughters now. Fiance, everything. Life is just amazing in that regard. But you're very present. I think that is like the most amazing thing about you. Like, what does it mean to you to be so present? Because like you said, tennis practice, I'm there.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm there changing diapers. Like, what does that mean to you to be so present?
It means a lot because I got that from my first daughter. To
She
where
was everything. You
I
were with her
was, oh
constantly.
yeah. I always knew I wanted to be a father. That was a big thing for me. But because naturally my father was there, my mother was there, and I just see the importance of that. It's so important to where I always wanted that. I wanted to be there. And so now with my first daughter, she kind of just being able to just take her to the gym each and every time with me and just have her sit there and watch me was man, it was amazing. I got to take her to the gym with me from she was 1 to about 5 years old when she was ready for kindergarten. We had a routine. We go to the gym after I get done, go straight to Toys R Us or Babies R Us back at that time. We'd spend about 30, 45 minutes there. I knew how to get in the car. I knew what song to play. Boom, she's
Fall
out.
asleep.
She's out. Boom, I get home at this exact time. Take her straight up to her bed. Let her sleep there. She's out for 2 hours. She gets down. I have the food ready for her. We had a routine down.
Yeah.
And so and then when she started to grow, because I used to say, when I was younger, I used to say, man, if I ever become a dad, I want to just miss the first 2 years. I want you to just hand me the kid when they can talk and do all these things.
You don't.
But then when I went through that process and you get to see them,
Never want to miss that.
you see them start to discover their hands.
Yeah.
And play with their hands. And you hear that first laugh, that real deep chuckle. And all of these things created such a tie and such a bond to where I'm like, oh no, you have to be present.
Yeah.
Now it's a tough part because part of getting that luxury
Is you have to work.
means you have to work. And I would say that's been the hardest thing, is working and at the same time trying to kind of present that balance. Because I've heard some great men say, if you want to give them everything, they have to understand Daddy's not going to be
Make everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to be there for
He's not
everything.
going to be around.
That sucks.
And so that it's that double-edged sword, because I can say now, I don't want to I don't want to leave. I want to be there for everything. But what if it comes an opportunity that they need me to provide for?
Yeah.
But now they have to pass it up because I didn't go do the work to provide for that. And they don't want to hear that.
No.
No one wants to hear that.
Nobody does.
It's just, this is an opportunity for me, Dad. Can I take advantage of this? I'm sorry, you can't, because
I ain't got it.
I ain't got it.
Can't be like that though.
And so, yeah, that's the hard part for me right now.
And to ensure that, it's podcasting, it's acting, it's fashion. You have so many different irons in the fire, man. Like,
Hey, wait, don't say it like that. Not like you.
the future. But I'm saying, you are one of the ones that have a future. Television, broadcasting, podcasting, acting, fashion. You have options to have built this life, right? Knowing that, like we said in the beginning, we're closer to the end than the beginning. When you look back with all these things, what do you tell Kamaru Usman that took a chance and went to Florida?
Just work, stay consistent, and trust the unknown, because that's the biggest thing that we can't even fathom when you're in that situation. And I tell this quick story. I remember when there was I think a 5-6 month stint where I wasn't living at Rashad's house, and I was living with Michael Johnson, and I'm 1-0. Actually, yeah, I'm 1-0. I can't get a fight because at this point people just Google you. Oh, he's a wrestler. Nah, I don't want to fight him.
Yep.
I can't want to fight him. Couldn't get a fight. 8 months had gone by. No money.
Oh.
I'm not under the roof of Rashad Evans where everything's
Taken care of. Yep.
And so I just remember on the walk one day and I'm on the phone with my mom because I used to just do morning walks because that was our ritual at the old training center. You know, world team
Yep.
walks. So I'm walking and I remember I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, I think I'm going to come home. I'm having to survive off of just eggs and bread. And I might need to come home. And she's like, no, just stay the course. But at that moment, I couldn't fathom one day I would be sitting with, two-time lead champion, 2-division champion and Hall of Fame Daniel Cormier talking about where I am and my opportunities and what I've done in the sport. You can't fathom that. And so if I had and I tell these to fighters nowadays, it's just, hey, just work and trust that the work will get you there.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you could quantify
the sacrifice.
And also the success level.
Yeah.
Is that consistent work.
Kamaru, I ask everybody that sit down with me, when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
This is something I'm struggling with right now. And because I'm we elevate each time we elevate to a certain point in life to where you're exposed to so much more than what you think. And to this layer that I'm in now, I'm exposed to a different set of people and just understanding their minds and how they are. And it's tricky because I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. To where I have met some people, but it's very few people that I've met to where I can say they did right by me.
Yeah.
And when I leave, when I'm done with this sport, my mission and my goal right now, and I'm not perfect, I'm not, but I want everyone that had an encounter, had a bump in with me, had a run in with me, did business or did anything with me, I want them to say, he did right by me.
Yeah.
Coaches, trainers, managers, everyone to say, he did right by me.
Yeah, well, I tell you one thing, man, that's the message I'll give people as we go forward is this: Kamaru Usman did right by me. Guys, Kamaru Usman, as I said earlier, is one of the greatest fighters the UFC has ever seen. Obviously, as you get to know more about him, he's one of the most well-spoken, well-thought of, and thoughtful individuals. Like I said, father, champion, podcaster, actor, fashionista. You can do it all. You're well thought out. Everything is with
of course.
a purpose, and that's to be appreciated.
Thank you.
I thank you for joining me. Guys, until next time, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about my YouTube channel. And don't ever miss an episode of the Daniel Cormier Show. Until next time, peace.